Many a narcissistic individual knows full well what they're doing, even if they don't believe there's anything wrong with their behaviour, even if they don't believe that they're the issue. Narcissists are, more often than not, fully aware of the pain and the suffering that they cause to others, because they usually do it intentionally to get people back. However, they manage to find a way to twist every situation to make themselves look like the victim, to convince others that you're the problem, you're the issue. If it wasn't for you, then they wouldn't have had to do the horrendous things that they did to you. Narcissistic individuals don't reflect. Instead, they pass the blame. They blame you for their actions. They say or do some of the most cruelest and hurtful things, and then claim that if it wasn't for you, if you'd have left them alone, if you'd have paid them more attention, they can't win with a narcissist. It's never their fault. They cheat on you, and it'll be your fault for not giving them enough attention. They fall silent on you, they want you to leave them alone. Well, if you leave them alone, they're off with somebody else because you weren't giving them attention. Or it'll be the other person that just wouldn't leave them alone. They never see where the responsibility lies with them. They only see a way to talk themselves out of a situation, to make themselves look good, to make themselves look desirable, to make themselves less accountable, to convince others that they're not the problem, you are. They go all out to gaslight reality. They go all out to deny facts, to twist words, to accuse you of being dramatic, too sensitive, hung up on your past, crazy, to change the story, to get you to question your own memory and your own perception rather than their behaviour. And they find a way to justify their cruel behaviour. They convince themselves and others that their behaviour is reasonable, justified, deserved, framing their actions as a lesson that you needed. If it wasn't for you, they wouldn't have had to have done those terrible things they did to you. They have that sense of moral superiority. Narcissistic individuals often genuinely believe that they are in the right, even when evidence proves otherwise. Their ego refuses to admit fault because to themselves, they are perfect. They already know everything. They're not the issue, you are. They look to shift the focus. Whenever you confront a narcissistic individual, they'll not admit fault. They'll redirect attention onto your mistakes. They'll turn around and say, well, I'm sorry, I forgot you were perfect. We all know we make mistakes, therefore we can be forgiving. However, narcissistic individuals are not forgiving. They want to make you feel guilty so that they can feel like they're above reproach. They go all out to minimise your feelings. Narcissists will dismiss your emotions as overreactions, exaggerations, weakness, being too hung up on the past, being jealous, being insecure, being paranoid, not being able to take a joke, reinforcing the idea that you're the issue. It's your emotional reactions to their actions that are the problem, and not their actions, that you caused the problem. And they will happily rewrite history. They retell past events to make themselves appear as though they are justified and blameless, leaving you confused and doubting and blaming yourself. Usually telling the story to others that makes you look like the issue in it all. Narcissistic individuals look to cover their tracks. They believe they're entitled to do as they please. They don't think that other people should be able to challenge them. Although with their double standards, they believe they should be allowed to challenge you. Many narcissists might not be aware as such. However, they are aware enough to lie to avoid consequences for their actions. They can convince themselves and others that they are not the issue, that it's the other person. In many aspects, they know what they're doing. They just believe that it's your fault. You made them do it. If it wasn't for you, you're the problem, not them. Narcissists are the masters of manipulation. They often know exactly what they're doing, but their ego convinces them. It tries to convince you, and it tries to convince others that you're the problem, not them. They wouldn't have to do these things if it wasn't for you. They don't want to face the consequences of their actions. They want to shift the blame over to you. It's learning to recognise patterns of behaviour in people, because there are patterns. It's who they are as a person. We can all have that misunderstanding. We can all accidentally gaslight someone where we're both coming from a different place, and then when we actually have the conversation and get our heads together, we realise we were talking about two very similar things but different things, and genuine people can both take responsibility, have a laugh about it and settle it. And then there's narcissistic individuals who go all out to rewrite history constantly on you and won't back down because they believe they're always right. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour, to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. I do also have several one-to-one slots available. The link is through Teachable in the description. If you're looking for further reading on understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several books out on Amazon. How to create boundaries around those who have no respect for your boundaries, such as narcissistic individuals. Healing from narcissistic abuse, a guided journal for recovery and empowerment. 15 rules to deal with narcissistic individuals, how to stay sane and break the chain. A Narcissists Handbook, the ultimate guide to understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse. And then the novel, Behind the Mask, The Rise of a Narcissist. If anyone is interested in any of those, they are all available on Amazon, and the links will be in the description. Thank you very much for watching. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.